हेलो फ्रेंड्स, कैसे हैं आप लोग? हाउ आर यू ऑल टुडे? सो वेलकम टू द लक्ष्य इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ प्रोफेशनल स्टडीज अगेन. So here we are again, myself CA Rohit Grover, a mentor and coach for you for your subject called CA Final Auditing. So today we are going to understand a very important topic. In today's lecture we are going to cover a highly important topic, that is nothing but is there in front of you in the screen, that is section number 143 subsection 11, which is known as CARO, Company's Audit Report Order, Company Auditor's Report Order. All those things we are going to cover. But before that, let me just recap what we have done so far, right? So if you remember, in the previous topics, in the previous lectures of company audit, we have covered section number 139, where we have covered 139 appointment, 139 subsection 2 rotation, 139 subsection 8 casual vacancy. Along with that, we also covered some parts of section number 140 resignation, there itself only in the casual vacancy, section number 140 subsection 2 and subsection 3, that is intimation of giving the reasons of resignation, right or not, and penalty on the auditor if he fails to give the intimation for reasons of resignation, right? Then we have also covered section number 140, where we have understood about the two types of removal. Removal number 1, section number 140 subsection 1 and subsection 4, where we talked about removal of an auditor before the expiry of the term by the members. And second thing, where we understood section number 140 subsection 5, which talks about removal of an auditor by the National Company Law Tribunal. After that, we also completed section number 141, where we understood eligibility, qualification and disqualifications. Under the disqualification, if you remember, 7th disqualification, we have understood section number 141 subsection 3 clause G, which talks about casual vacancy of an auditor. And followed by that, we also did one more section under 141 subsection, that is 144, that is the prohibited services. I hope I'm clear whatever the portion we have done so far. Okay, so let's move ahead today with the section number 143. Let me tell you one thing. Section number 143 के बहुत सारे trees हैं. In the section number 143, first of all, तो I have to tell you कि section number 143 subsection 1 is there. That is called duty to inquire. Section number 143 subsection 1, duty to inquire. But I'm glad to introduce or announce you one thing, that this particular section, ये जो particular section है, that has been removed from your portion recently in the November 19 examination onwards. But anyways, this is very important section, important subsection, and it is very small subsection. So we will try our level best to cover it in our portion as well. So no worries at all. Then we have section number 143 subsection 3. Duty to report on certain matters is the basically this section name, and it is also going to be a part of our discussion when we'll be doing the 700 series. जब हम लोग 700 series करेंगे तब हम लोग इसको discuss करेंगे again, ठीक है? Next one, in 143 actually it's a very important section. बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट सेक्शन, इसमें बहुत सारी चीजें आती है. 143 1 है, 143 सबसेक्शन 3 है, देन 143 सबसेक्शन 11 विच इज देयर इन फ्रंट ऑफ यू, दैट इज कॉल्ड कारो. बहुत ही ह्यूज सेक्शन है और बहुत ही रेलेवेंस रखता है. एंड लेट मी टेल यू वन थिंग, इट इज नॉट ओनली अ सेक्शन, इट इज वन ऑफ द इंपॉर्टेंट चैप्टर इन योर CA final audit. Are you getting the point? यहाँ पे we are not going to discuss CARO just like that what we have discussed at the level of intermediate and IPCC. We are going to discuss the CARO in a very elaborate manner, in a very exhaustive manner. Each and every inch of information we are going to understand. So I'll try my level best to cover the CARO in one part of the video only, but I think it won't be possible, so we have to make the two parts of CARO. So particular section audit report, one chapter is there. From the audit report I'm taking the CARO because anyways we are in the flow of doing the company audit. So company audit and CARO both are relating to Companies Act only, so I thought ki why not include the CARO also in the classes of company audit only. So remember one thing, when we are done with the CARO, then in that case we are done with the audit report chapter, except the other audit report things which we have to cover in ऐसे 700 series. ठीक है, तो 700 series के अलावा, apart from 700 series, whatever is there in the chapter called audit report, that we are going to cover in CARO only. I hope everyone is clear with the topic, everyone understood the thing. Okay, so without wasting the time, let us understand what this section, particular section called 143 subsection 11 is there. So as you can see it on the face of you can see that there is now two things which are going on in the minds of the student right now, as it is a very fresh lecture. So I would like to first clarify the difference between CARO I would like to clarify the difference between CARO 2016 and CARO 2020. I'm not going to tell you any detailed difference between them. Let me give some clarification on this first. Before starting the section, हमारे पास clarification होनी चाहिए कि सर November 2020, sir, what is applicable? In November 2020, what is applicable? Whether the CARO 2016 is applicable or CARO 2020 is applicable. Frankly speaking, ICAI is completely silent on this. First of all, ICAI is completely silent on it. Let me tell you one thing. The whole story I'll tell you. Listen to me right from the beginning. What happened on 29th March 2000, on 29th March 2016, what happened? Sir, CARO 2015 was replaced by CARO 2016. Everyone able to understand? So on 29th March 2016, क्या हुआ sir? CARO 2015 was replaced by CARO 2016. Are you getting the point? And CARO 2015 replaced CARO 2003, which I did when I got qualified as a chartered accountant. So when I did my CA final, at that point of time, CARO 2003 was there. CARO stands for what? What is the full form of CARO? Now see, what is the full form of CARO? The CARO stands for Companies Auditors Report Order 2016. So what is the name of the CARO? What is the meaning of the CARO? It is Companies Auditors Report 2016. I hope everyone clear. Companies Auditors Report 2016. So let us come back to the point again. So in the CARO 2016, what happened? In the CARO 2016, the number of reporting clauses were drastically reduced from 21 to 16. Number of reporting clauses were drastically reduced from 21 to 16. In CARO 2003, I had approximately, if I'm not wrong, 21 areas to be reported when we did the CARO 2003. But in the CARO 2016, the number of areas to be reported by a statutory auditor, are you getting the number of areas to be reported by a statutory auditor has been drastically reduced to what? 16 areas only. How many areas? Only 16 areas. Then what happened? In 2020, what happened? In 2020, on 25th February 2020, CARO 2020 came and replaced CARO 2016. CARO 2020 came and replaced what? CARO 2016. So you can say that the replacement of CARO 2016 is nothing but CARO 2020. Now the biggest question, the biggest worry in the minds of students, I have already clarified this particular part in one of my video in the my YouTube channel. So you can go there and see that, watch that particular video. Now I have already clarified over there कि CARO 2020 came on 25th February 2020. It came on 25th February 2020 and it was first decided to be made applicable from 1920 financial year. It was required to be made applicable from 1920 financial year. Sir, what do you mean by 1920 financial year? It means which got recently over. It means if I am a statutory auditor of any company for the financial year 1920, are you getting the point? So I have to report the areas under the CARO 2020 right now for the applicable financial year 1920. This was the decision taken on 25th February 2020 कि now no more CARO 2016 is applicable. Today, if I'm doing the statutory auditor, we have to report as per CARO 2020, not as per CARO 2016. Clear? Now, what happened exactly 1 month later on? Exactly 1 month later on 24th March 2020, what happened? COVID-19 came. You all know that Corona came. Due to the coronavirus pandemic situation, what happened? MCA decided to declare and MCA decided to declare to defer this CARO 2020 by 1 year. It means now it is no more applicable for 1920 financial year. It is going to be applicable for 2021 financial year. It means next year, same time, when we will be reporting next year, same time when we will be reporting, we are going to report as per CARO 2020 provisions. We need not report as per CARO 2016. It means today, presently, today, in the month of July 2020, right now, when I'm recording this lecture, in the month of July 2020, now I'm going to report as per CARO 2016 only for the financial year 1920. Next year, same time, I'll be reporting under the CARO 2020 for my clients, for my companies which I'm doing the statutory audit for. I hope everyone is clear. The 1 year deferment has came in the CARO 2020 application, but that deferment has been notified by whom? MCA, Ministry of Corporate Affairs. But we are not yet clarified whether this particular topic is applicable on November 2020 or not, or May 2021 or not. May 2021 definitely, I think the ICA will make sure that this CARO 2020 will be applicable. But still, when it comes to this thing called when it comes to November 2020 examination, यहाँ पे थोड़ा मुश्किल लग रहा है. I don't think so that ICA will be in a position to, because ICA was already held up with so many issues for cancellation of examinations and all those things which happened recently on the 3rd July. So ICA was already held up with all those issues, but I don't think so that ICA have got the enough time to look upon this matter. 99.99% chances are there that this particular thing is not at all going to be applicable for your examination. So this video what we are recording right now is for CARO 2016. Are you getting the point? I will also record another video for CARO 2020 which will be inserted in this package of videos and which will be provided to you for those who are going to write in the May 2021. And if by chance it comes under November 2020 examination also, if the ICA notifies कि भैया CARO 2020 is applicable for November examination also, so I'll make a separate video of 3 to 4 hours on CARO 2020. And those people who are going to subscribe my classes, those people who are going to take my classes, so I will make them available that CARO 2020 particular video to their email IDs. I'll upload it on my Google Drive link and I'll be sending, or you will be having an option to get it receiving it on your email address, or I will upload it on my Google Drive and I'll give the access to each and everyone who is going to access or subscribe my classes. So no worries, I'm going to make 2 separate videos on CARO 2016 which we are doing right now, which is 99.99% certainty that it is going to come in your November 20 examination. In case May 21 student is also subscribing my classes, for him I will make a separate video on CARO 2020 also. So that is in the queue only. After this I'm going to make that video only on CARO 2020. So I will be trying my level best to incorporate both the videos in the package only. So whatever will be applicable to you, you will be in a position to do it. Because once we will understand CARO 2016, there will not be any difficulty to understand the CARO 2020 because most of the things are same. अब मैं तुम्हें बताता हूँ changes क्या है. तो first of all, first thing what we understood, sir, CARO 2020 has been deferred by 1 year. It is no more applicable for financial year 1920. It is now applicable for financial year 2021. Next year, when the same time we will be doing the reporting as a statutory auditor, we are not going to do the reporting as per CARO 2016. We are going to report as per CARO 2020. Point number 1. In this lecture, point number 2, sir, what we are going to cover? We are going to cover CARO 2016 only, because these lectures are for November as well as the May 21. So far, ICA has not clarified. As and when the ICA will clarify, the next day or within the week, the new video on CARO 2020 will also be applicable to all of you. You can contact on these particular numbers which are given below and it will be provided to you. I hope I'm clear. Next thing now what you have to understand is the major difference between them. But yes, remember one thing, ICA is a very clever body. ICA क्या करेगी? If the ICA is not going to ask you anything in the examination for CARO 2020, but at least ICA can draft a question on the date of applicability. So let me tell you one thing. CARO 2016 came on 29th March 2016 and the first year which got applicable for CARO 2016 was CARO 2016 was first time got applicable for 15-16 financial year. First time it got applicable for 15-16 financial year. Remember one thing. So the first financial year when the CARO 2016 was made applicable was 15-16. Now when it comes to CARO 2020, its date of first notification, remember its date of first notification is 25th February 2020. Right or not? Its date of first notification is 25th February 2020. Then it got deferred by 1 year. But when that notification came, the deferment notification came on 24th March 2020. When the lockdown was imposed, it was becoming very difficult for the practicing chartered accountants to report as per CARO 2020. So they deferred it by 1 year. So that date of deferment notification is 24th March 2020, and the date of notification of CARO 2020 is 25th February 2020. What is the first financial year? Now, as per deferment, the first financial year is 2021. For your knowledge purpose, I am sharing this so that you can understand. I hope now you are clear ki are we going to do 16 or 20? We are going to do 16. CARO 2016. We are not going to do CARO 2020 because CARO 2020 has been deferred to the next year. I hope I am crystal clear up to this discussion. Yes, sir. So, what is the applicable year for the CARO 2020? 2021. Now, whether it is CARO 16 or it is CARO 20, it is covered under section number 143, subsection 11. याद है हमारी बात पहले भी हुई थी कि सेक्शन तो आपके रगों में दौड़ना चाहिए, यहाँ पे कट करे तो सेक्शंस बाहर आना ब्लड की जगह, ठीक है. तो सेक्शन 143 सबसेक्शन 1. तो विदाउट वेस्टिंग द टाइम लेट अस स्टार्ट द टॉपिक विद द CARO 2016, राइट. नाउ लेट अस अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट इज CARO 2016. सर क्या है CARO 2016? CARO 2016 is given under the section number 143 subsection 11. Either it's 2020 or 2016, it is going to be covered under section number 143 subsection 11. इसका full form क्या है सर? What is the full form of CARO? The full form of CARO is Company Auditors Report Order 2016. What is the full form? Company Auditors Report Order 2016. First of all sir, CARO का मतलब क्या होता है? हमें शुरू से एक we want a meaning from you. So let me give you the meaning from the scratch. Now when an auditor signs the statutory audit report, when an auditor signs the statutory auditor's report, he has to add two annexures to that. Annexure number 1, the report on internal financial control systems of the company. Annexure number 2, the CARO. Are you getting the point? So this CARO is a part of your statutory auditor's report. CARO is a part of your statutory auditor report. It is required to be annexed. It is required to be annexed with your statutory audit report as a annexure number 2. समझ में आया सर? तो CARO कोई separate report नहीं है. CARO is a part of your statutory audit report which is going to be annexed under what? Statutory audit report. Now sir, basically CARO है क्या? In the CARO 2016, we are going to understand the 16 different areas where the auditor needs to do the examination. Specific 16 areas. These are the specific 16 areas where the auditor needs to do the examination. So those examination results and reporting on those 16 areas, we have to attach with our statutory audit report. That is what the purpose of CARO 2016. The next question which generally the students ask me when I take the classes, it is known as कि sir, why it is known as order? इसे order क्यों बोलते हैं? Why CARO 2016 is known as Company Auditors Report Order? Sir, it is ordered. Why? Because it is ordered by central government under section 143 subsection 11. Who has ordered this? Central government has imposed an order on the statutory auditor कि भैया whatever the applicable companies on which the CARO 2016 is applicable, if you are doing the statutory audit report, I order you that you have to report me on those 16 areas which are specified under the CARO 2016. तो याद रखना CARO 2016 means what? 16 means how many areas? 16 areas. I hope everyone is clear. Yes sir, we are clear. So first of all, tell me what is the full form? Company Auditors Report Order 2016. Why it is known as order? Because it is being ordered by the central government under section 143 subsection 11. Sir, how many areas we have to report it under that? We have to report under that 16 areas. Everyone is clear? Now next thing you already know. What is the date of CARO? What is the date of CARO 2016? I'm saying, what is the date of CARO 2016? 29th March 2016. So 29th March 2016 is the date of CARO 2016. Sir, ये CARO 2016 applicable कब से हुआ? When it got started applicable from? It started getting applicable from first financial year was 15-16. It means 15-16 financial year onwards, we are still reporting under CARO 2016 only. So 15-16, 16-17, 17-18, 18-19, and now recently notified 19-20 financial year is also got covered under the reporting under CARO 2016. Very important from your MCQ point of view. So sir, what is the date of applicability? Date of notification was 29th March 2016. What is the first financial year from which it got applicable? It was applicable from 15-16 financial year onwards till now. Next year we are going to report as per, guess what? We are going to report as per CARO 2020. Everyone clear? Yes sir, we clear. So again, next discussion I have given, but recently in the year 2020, on 25th February, CARO 2020 has been notified. CARO 2020 was notified on 25th February 2020. I already told you, right? Okay, next thing. Now, what is CARO 2020 basically? It is a new format of issue of auditor's report as annexure to the statutory audit report. I already told you that CARO 20 is not a separate report. It is one of the annexure of auditor's statutory audit report. So, CARO 2020 is a new format. CARO 2020 is a new format. Just a little bit introduction of, I thought that you should need it. Because for the examination purpose, तुम्हें थोड़ा बहुत पता होना चाहिए कि what is 16 and what is 20, right? So it is a new format of issue of auditor's report as an extra to the statutory audit report. Second thing, included some additional reporting requirements. What is the meaning of that? Now, this is very important point where you all have to understand now. Now, we are doing CARO 2016 and next year we will be doing CARO 2020. So, दोनों में difference क्या है? Here we have 16 areas to be reported, but here we have 21 areas to be reported. सर 5 एरिया बढ़ गए? नहीं, टोटल देयर आर 7 चेंजेस. सर 16 प्लस 7 तो 23 होते हैं. आप बोल रहे 21 एरियाज. Who told you that only the new things have been added? Some existing clauses also have been changed. 5 new clauses have been added, and let me tell you one thing, these are not 5 new clauses. These are the same clauses which I did during my qualification in 2013. जब मैं क्वालिफाई हुआ था, I told you that I did the CARO 2003. There used to be 21 areas. Now, out of those 21 areas, some areas have been copy pasted again and added back in your CARO 2016. So 16 areas got turned into how many areas? 21 areas. तो याद रखना, CARO 2016 means 16 areas and CARO 20 means 21 areas. Now, how to remember that? अब next year क्या है? 2021 है. नेक्स्ट ईयर क्या 2021 है. आर यू गेटिंग द पॉइंट और नॉट? नेक्स्ट ईयर इज 2021, तो 21 मींस 21 एरियाज. CARO 2016 came in 2016, right or not? तो 16 areas. Now it is got applicable from 2021. Now how many areas? 21 areas. So this is how you remember. Are you getting the point? So the first difference what you have to understand between the CARO 2016 and CARO 2020 is what? In the CARO 2016 there was 16 areas to be reported. In CARO 2020 there are 21 areas to be reported, but as it is going to be applicable from the next year onwards, so we will call it as applicability from 2021 financial year. I hope everyone is clear. So see the point number 2 again. What is the point number 2? Includes some additional reporting requirements. It included some additional reporting requirement. What do you mean by additional reporting requirement? Who added this reporting requirement? In consultation with NFRA. Sir, who added this? National Financial Reporting Authority, section number 132. Highly important section. Highly important section. When we'll do the books of accounts topic, there I will tell you section number 132. 132 क्या है? NFRA. अब याद रखना, remember one thing. Now ICA does not directly report to MCA. Between ICAI and MCA, there is one mediator now. Who is that mediator? NFRA. NFRA is a filter between whom and whom. यहाँ पे MCA है, यहाँ पे ICA है. NFRA is here. It is a filter. Whatever the ICA has to tell anything to the MCA, first it will get filtered through NFRA and then it will go to the MCA. Remember one thing, with whose consultation these 16 areas got turned into 21 areas? In consultation with National Financial Reporting Authority. What is the full form? National Financial Reporting Authority. That we are already going to cover in section number 132. Now it means I already told you now how many clauses? 21 clauses. Now why I am giving you the introduction of 2020? So that you should not have it in mind कि हमने 2016 तो कर लिया, I am worrying, मेरे को कुछ नहीं पता 2020 के बारे में. At least 10 to 20% information तो हमारी ये introduction में ही cover होगी. Are you getting the point? Remaining will be covered, as I promised you that I will definitely make one extra video on 2020 if the ICA will notify it, as and when within 1 week the video will be ready. I hope everyone is clear. Yes sir, we are clear. Next point, to enhance the overall quality of reporting by the company auditor. Why 16 areas have been changed to 21 areas? To enhance, to increase the overall reporting requirements of a statutory auditor. So first of all, NFRA thought that 16 areas are very less. So NFRA ने क्या किया? 16 areas को increase करके they increase the 16 areas into 21 areas to enhance the reporting requirement of an auditor. Earlier applicability from 1920 financial year. I already told you. Earlier it was notified on 25th February 2020. So CARO 2020 earlier application was 1920. But what happened? What happened on 24th March? On 24th March. What happened? On 24th March. On the 24th March 2020, what happened? It got deferred by 1 year. Now the next year applicability is financial year 2021. What is the next year applicability? Financial year 2021. No more 1920. Now the applicability from 1920 has been changed to 2021. I hope everyone is clear. Yes sir, it was deferred by 1 year, so now it is applicable from 2021. Are you getting the point? Now there again I have told you the difference. So understand one thing, this is just for your understanding purpose only. अभी तक हमने CARO 2016 start भी नहीं किया. The first 15-20 minutes I thought that it is my moral responsibility to make you understand कि you should not have the confusion in your mind, sir CARO 2016 करना है या 2020. तो जैसे 2020 आएगा, I already told you by the time we will wait for the notification of ICA, it will be included in the package. If it is not being provided to you in the package, separately it will be provided, right? So finally, we have to understand what CARO 2016. I hope everyone is crystal clear. Yes sir, we are crystal clear. So without wasting the time, let us understand what is CARO 2016. Start kare sir. So tell me, CARO 2016 is applicable from, are you getting the point? Applicable for July examination, and so far assuming that it is also applicable for your November 2020. July examination anyways got cancelled, so now it is applicable for your November 2020 examination. So what is CARO stands for? All of you will say it in your heart. Now tell me, what is CARO? Company Auditors Report Order. So tell me one thing, is it a separate report or it is an annexure? Tell me, is it a separate report or is it an annexure? It is an annexure to the company statutory auditors, independent auditors report. So one of the annexure over there, right or not? Next point, what is the date of notification of CARO 2016? Everyone quickly, what is the date? 29th March 2016. CARO 2016 got notified on 29th March 2016. And what is the first financial year when it got applicable? It got applicable from 15-16 financial year onwards. Everyone clear or not? It got applicable from 15-16 financial year onwards. So it is applicable from 15-16 financial year onwards, right? So this is called para 1. This is called para 1. So what is para 1? It is the date of notification as well as the first financial year. This is called para number 1. Now next thing what we have to understand in the CARO, that is para 2 of the CARO. What is para 2 of the CARO? To whom the CARO 2016 is applicable. CARO 2016 किसको applicable है sir? CARO 2016 is applicable to all the companies in India. Each and every company in India is going to get covered under CARO 2016. So CARO 2016 is applicable to all the companies in India, including foreign companies. Including which companies? Foreign companies. So it is applicable to all the companies in India, including which company? Foreign companies. Sir, foreign company given under section number 2, subsection 42. Matlab, it is applicable to Indian companies as well as it is also applicable to those companies which are incorporated outside India but having a place of business in India. सर आपने ये क्या बोल दिया? हमने वही बोला which is given in section number 2 subsection 42, that is a definition of foreign company. So what is the definition of foreign company? Which is incorporated where? Outside India and having a place of business in India. Incorporated outside India and having a place of business in India. Everyone clear? Sir, super clear. So what kind of questions they may ask you? Now see, first of all, to understand what is the definition of foreign company. A foreign company is the one which is incorporated outside India and having a place of business in India. सबको समझ में आया sir? Now what kind of questions they may ask you is कि is Apple a foreign company? First of all, to tell me, is Apple a foreign company? Yes sir, Apple is a foreign company. Does it did it incorporated in India or outside India? Sir, it incorporated outside India, but do they have the place of business in India? Yes. Are they selling their products in India via online or any manner? Yes. So it is going to be applicable to Apple, Google, Microsoft, all these foreign companies which are working outside India but which are incorporated outside India but having the place of business in India. So sir, what is the applicability of the CARO? CARO is applicable to all the companies in India. CARO is applicable to all the companies in India, including the foreign companies also. Foreign company given under section number 2 subsection 42. And what do you mean by foreign company? Those companies which are incorporated outside India but having a place of business in India. Everyone clear or not? Yes sir, we are clear. Now let me give you one simple example how the question may be drafted in the foreign company. Say for example okay, now it's been 10 years that Apple is working in India. Apple is selling its products in India. It's been 10 years, right or not? So it's been 10 years that Apple is selling its products in India. Everyone clear or not? Now when the Apple is selling its products in India, it's been 10 years that their business associates are coming to Hyderabad. Their business associates every year in the month of July, they come to what? Hyderabad. In the Hyderabad, when they come, they only go to one hotel. That hotel name is known as Taj Krishna. So they come to Hyderabad every year. Since last 10 years, every year they're coming to Hyderabad and in the month of July for 20 days and they're going to the Taj Krishna. Am I correct or not? In the Taj Krishna, they have a special room booked for them. It's been 10 years. Every time whenever they're coming, they're booking that special room only. So what is that special room? Room number 502. Now, I am one of the dealer of Aptronics Electronics. My name of the company is Aptronics Electronics. So I want to take the dealership of Apple. Now tell me, do I know the address where I have to reach? Do I know the address where I have to go? Now where I have to go? Suppose I am staying in Mumbai. I'm staying in Mumbai and they are every year in the month of July for 20 days they are going to Hyderabad. In the Hyderabad, they are staying at Taj Krishna. In the Taj Krishna, they are staying at room number 502. So tell me, do I know the address? Yes sir, I know the address. From Mumbai, I'll take a flight to Hyderabad. In the Hyderabad, I'll go to Taj Krishna. In the Taj Krishna, I'll knock the door of 502. I will find the business associates of Apple company or not. That is called place of business in India. Do they have the four walls in India? Do they have the permanent establishment in India? No, that is not required. You are operating the business online or in any manner via your agent or someone, that will be treated as a place of business in India. I hope everyone is clear. So this kind of question they may ask you in the particular examination. Is this a foreign company? Yes sir, it is a foreign company. If it is a foreign company, CARO is applicable. Yes sir, definitely CARO 2016 is applicable. So tell me one thing, to whom the CARO 2016 is applicable? CARO 2016 is applicable to all companies in India, including the foreign companies. Sir, foreign company given under section number 2 subsection 42, including incorporated outside India but having a place of business in India. Are you getting the point? So let us understand some more clarification to whom the CARO is applicable. Now CARO is applicable to, it means, what do you mean by this part? All companies in India. CARO is applicable to public companies. CARO is applicable to foreign companies. CARO is applicable to chit fund companies. CARO is applicable to Nidhi companies also. Chit fund companies also, Nidhi companies also. CARO is applicable to mutual corporation companies also, which are known as producer companies. CARO is also applicable to financial institutions also. CARO is applicable to government company also. CARO is applicable to branches of the above also. Are you getting the point or not? So to whom the CARO is applicable? It is applicable to public company, it is applicable to foreign company, chit fund company, Nidhi company, mutual corporation company, financial institution, government and branches. So this is what do you mean by the point number this, ki yes, it is applicable to all of the companies in India, including what? Foreign companies. Everyone clear? Now, CARO is applicable to all companies in India, including foreign companies, except the following. What do you mean by except the following? CARO is not applicable to these companies. Sir, to whom CARO is not applicable? CARO is not applicable to the banking companies. Sir, why it is not applicable to the banking company? One by one, I'll give you the reason also. It is not applicable to the banking company because banking companies are regulated under Banking Regulation Act 1949. They have their own reporting requirements. They do not follow the reporting requirements of Companies Act 2013. So tell me, what is section number 143 subsection 11 CARO? But section number 143 subsection 11 CARO belongs to which act? Companies Act. So it is applicable on general companies. But bank is a general company or specified? It is a statutory company. Bank is a statutory company. So banking company are governed by Companies Act or they are governed by the Banking Regulation Act? Sir, Banking Regulation Act. That is why CARO has excluded them from the applicability, because CARO section is applicable under Companies Act 2013 and banking companies are regulated under Banking Regulation Act 1949. Therefore, CARO is not applicable to banking companies. Are you getting the point? CARO 2016 is not applicable to which companies? Banking companies. Sir, CARO 2016 is also not applicable to what? Insurance companies. CARO 2016 is not applicable to insurance companies also. Sir, how? To the insurance company it is not applicable because insurance companies are also regulated under Insurance Act 1938. They are regulated under Insurance Act 1938. Now, let me tell you what the mistake student will do. Sir, banking, insurance, electricity. These are the three names. They are very much, on our tongue. They are always trying to come out. Put together all three words. But let me tell you one thing. CARO is applicable to electricity company. CARO is applicable to which company? Electricity company. It is not applicable to banking company. It is not applicable to insurance company. And it is not applicable to OPC also. छोटी सी कंपनी है, very small company, OPC, 1% company. So CARO said that, okay, leave this company. We are not going to put any burden on you. So if you are a statutory auditor of an OPC company, you need not report or you need not annex the CARO report along with your statutory audit report. Clear? So tell me first 3 points. So CARO is not applicable to banking company, sir. Right? CARO is not applicable to the banking company. CARO is not applicable to what? Insurance company. So CARO is also not applicable to what? OPC. Then next point, CARO is also not applicable to which company? Small company. So small name itself says that it's a small. So small, why to burden a small company with the huge responsibility of CARO? So small company is also eliminated from the basket of applicable companies. So tell me, who are not required? In which companies the statutory auditor is not required to report as per section number 143 subsection 11 under CARO 2016 requirements? He need not report it when it's a banking company. Statutory auditor need not report when it's an insurance company. CARO is not applicable to the OPC. CARO is not applicable to the Section 8 company. So next, CARO is also not applicable to Section 8 company. Sorry, I already told you. So CARO is also not applicable to the small company as well as what? Section 8 company. So the fifth company to whom the CARO is not applicable is Section 8 company. Non-profit organizations are also not going to get reported under CARO 2016. So tell me the 5 things. CARO is not applicable to banking companies, not applicable to insurance companies, not applicable to banking companies, insurance companies, OPC, not applicable to small companies, not applicable to Section 8 companies. And very interesting point, CARO is not applicable to private limited companies as well. Sir, यहाँ पे आके आपने रेड कलर का ब्रैकेट लगाया, ऑरेंज कलर का अंडरलाइन किया, एंड सो मेनी स्टार्स, अप्रोक्सीमेटली 1 2 3 8 stars you have put. So the biggest base of questions from where the ICA can ask you is this particular part only. So CARO is not applicable to private limited companies. Repeat, private companies. Repeat, private companies. Private companies. Only private companies? No, private limited companies. Sir, what does it make any difference? Yes, sir. Private company can be a limited company as well as unlimited company. Private limited company is a separate company and private unlimited company is a separate company. So CARO is not applicable to private limited company. CARO is not applicable to private limited company. It means indirectly it is applicable to private unlimited company. I can guarantee that 80% of the students were not even aware of this fact. क्योंकि ये चीज तुम्हें इंटरमीडिएट और आईपीसीसी लेवल पे नहीं पढ़ाई जाती. No one teaches you this kind of thing, even though they might be knowing that. I'm not saying your faculty might not be aware of that. They are aware of that, but they will not teach you that thing. क्योंकि वहां पे इतना concentration करने की जरूरत ही नहीं है. तो remember one thing, CARO 2016 is not applicable to banking company. It is not applicable to insurance company. It is not applicable to electricity companies. Correct? No, sir. It is applicable to electricity company. So banking company not applicable. Insurance company not applicable. Section 8 company not applicable. OPC not applicable. Small company not applicable. And what is the biggest of all? Private limited company not applicable, but applicable to private unlimited company. Applicable to private unlimited company. Everyone clear or not? Everyone super clear? सबको समझ में आया? Yes sir. So it is applicable to private limited company. और याद रखना, remember one thing, what I told you, CARO is also applicable to financial institution, but CARO is not applicable to public financial institutions. Remember one thing, CARO is applicable to financial institutions, but CARO is not applicable to public financial institutions. So let me do some testing. Sir, is CARO applicable on public company? Yes, sir. Applicable on public company. Is CARO applicable on Section 8 company? No, sir. It is not applicable on Section 8 company. Is CARO applicable on charitable trust? Sir, charitable trust is not a company, therefore CARO is not applicable. Is it applicable to partnership firm? Sir, partnership firm is not a company na sir. CARO is not applicable. Sole proprietor? Sir, sole proprietor is also not a company. CARO is not applicable. Is it applicable to foreign company? Yes sir, it is applicable to foreign company. Is it applicable to insurance companies? No sir, it is not applicable to insurance company. Is it applicable to electricity companies? Yes sir, it is applicable to electricity company, but is it applicable to banking company? No sir, it is not applicable to banking company. It is not applicable to insurance company. It is not applicable to OPC, one person company. It is not applicable to Section 8 company. It is not applicable to small company. It is not applicable to private limited company, but it is applicable to private unlimited company. Everyone is clear? Super clear? सबको समझ में आया? Right or not? तो यहां पे अपने को CARO 2020 and CARO 2016 clarification also we understood. We also understood the date of CARO 2016, first financial year of CARO 2016, and we also understood where it is applicable, to whom it is not applicable. So quickly just wrap up where it is applicable. Sir, it is applicable to whole of India, not like Indian Contract Act. Sir, it is applicable to all companies. Yes, including foreign companies. It is applicable to all companies including foreign companies. But sir, it is not applicable to banking, insurance, OPC, small, Section 8 and private company. No sir, private limited company, because it is applicable to private unlimited company. Everyone clear or not? Now sir, what is the purpose of putting these many stars on the private limited company? The reason was कि majority of the question other than clauses from where they may ask you is why it is not applicable to private limited company, and when CARO 2016 is not applicable to private limited company. Are you finding these notes very helpful to you? So don't worry about these notes. These notes definitely I'm going to share to each and everyone who is going to subscribe my video classes, right or not? The same love and affection which you all have shown me in the face-to-face classes, I want all of you to show the same love and affection in my video classes and Google Drive and pen drive and laptop or whatever you call it, online classes. Am I correct or not? So thank you so much for allowing me to come to this platform, accepting me. Within a span of 2 months only, I reached to a mark of 1,000 subscribers. So thank you so much for liking my videos on my YouTube channel also, and thank you so much Lakshya Institute of Professional Studies also to give me a platform to launch my online classes, right? So without wasting the time, let us come back to the subject now. Okay, सर हमने अभी क्या किया? हमने क्या किया कि कारो इज नॉट एप्लीकेबल टू सिक्स्थ वाली कंपनी कौन सी थी? व्हाट वाज द सिक्स्थ वन? इट वाज प्राइवेट लिमिटेड कंपनी. नाउ व्हेन कारो 2016 इज नॉट एप्लीकेबल टू प्राइवेट लिमिटेड कंपनी, when CARO 2016 is not applicable to private limited company. Now try to understand this question very carefully. When CARO 2016 is not applicable to private limited company, shall we do now? Yes sir, we shall do. Okay, when it is not applicable to private limited company, if 4 conditions are satisfied. Sir, how many conditions are satisfied? 4 conditions are satisfied, and we need all of them to be satisfied. We need all of them to be satisfied. First of all, 4 conditions are required to be satisfied, and we want all of them to be satisfied. Matlab, are these the and conditions or conditions? And conditions. All 4 of them will be satisfied. Then CARO 2016 will not be applicable to the private limited company. But if one of the condition is dissatisfied, automatically that private limited company from non-applicability part will come down to the applicability part. तो CARO applicable हो जाएगा अगर ये 4 condition satisfy नहीं हुए तो. Everyone clear or not? अगर ये 4 condition satisfy नहीं हुए तो CARO will be applicable. Are you getting the point? These 4 conditions are required to be satisfied. Then only the CARO will not be applicable. Everyone clear or not? समझ में आया sir? Okay sir. What are the 4 conditions? Condition number 1. Such private limited company. Which private limited company that we are talking about? Such a private limited company should neither be the holding nor a subsidiary of a public company. ये जो प्राइवेट लिमिटेड कंपनी विच वांट्स एन एग्जेम्पशन अंडर सेक्शन 143 सबसेक्शन 11 ऑफ कारो 2016 शुड नाइदर बी हैविंग एनी होल्डिंग रिलेशनशिप और नॉर हैविंग एनी सब्सिडरी रिलेशनशिप विद द पब्लिक कंपनी. पब्लिक कंपनी की वो सब्सिडरी नहीं होनी चाहिए और पब्लिक कंपनी की होल्डिंग नहीं होनी चाहिए. कौन? सच प्राइवेट लिमिटेड कंपनी शुड नाइदर बी द होल्डिंग नॉर द सब्सिडरी ऑफ public company. ये public company है. Understand, this is a public company. So such private limited company should neither be the holding of this public company nor it should be the subsidiary of this public company. Condition number 1. Are you getting the point? The holding subsidiary relationship with the public company will draw the applicability of section number 143 subsection 11. But if you are neither a holding nor a subsidiary, then no problem. No drawing of any section. कोई problem नहीं है. No problem at all. Are you getting the point? Then you have satisfied the condition number 3, but yet 3 conditions are required to be satisfied more. The first condition is this private limited company which wants an exemption should neither be a holding of a public company, should not be a subsidiary of a public company. Now let us do the analysis of condition number 1. Now see, this is the analysis. ABC private limited company is a holding of XYZ Limited. ABC private limited company is a holding of XYZ Limited. CARO applicable or not applicable? Applicable. Sir, why? Because this ABC private limited company is a holding of a public company. It is a holding of a public company. Now, this ABC private limited company is a subsidiary of XYZ Limited. Then also CARO is applicable. समझ में आया? So, either you are having a holding relationship with the public company or you having a subsidiary relationship with the public company. In all the cases, you are automatically get applicable under the CARO 2016. तो condition number 1 क्या है? Neither you should be holding nor you should be a subsidiary of a which company? Of a public company. Everyone clear or not? Yes sir, we are clear. Yes sir, we are clear. So remember one thing, you should neither be the holding nor a subsidiary of a which company? Public company. Everyone clear? Are you getting the point? If such private limited company should neither be the holding nor a subsidiary of a public company. So condition number 1, everyone clear or not? Yes sir, we are done with the condition number 1. Are we done with the condition number 1? Yes sir, we are done with the condition number 1. समझ में आया सर? तो कितनी कंडीशन है? Total 4 conditions are there sir. How many conditions are there? Total 4 conditions are there. Out of 4 conditions, condition number 1 is over. Such private limited company should neither be a holding nor a subsidiary of a public company. Now, some thoughts will come. Sir, what kind of thoughts? अब सुनना ध्यान से. Sir, if that private company is an associate of a public company, if that private company is an associate of public company, or any public company is an associate of this private company, then sir, anywhere associate word written? Not written. Not applicable. We have to go by the law. If there is a association relationship, associate company relationship between the public and private company, or joint venture relationship between the public and private company, that will not affect the applicability of CARO. CARO applicability is only getting affected if that private company is having a holding or subsidiary relationship with that particular public company. Everyone clear? Crystal clear? Yes sir, we are clear. So can we move to the condition number 2? Sir, yes sir, we can move to the condition number 2. अब ध्यान से सुनना. Such private limited companies paid up share capital. Such private limited companies paid up share capital plus free reserves. उस private limited company की paid up share capital plus free reserves in any case at the time of balance sheet date shall not be exceeding 1 crore. Such private limited companies total paid up share capital including free reserves, total paid up share capital including free reserves, ये दोनों चीजों को जब हम ऐड करेंगे, that should not be more than what? That should not be more than what? It should not be more than 1 crore. Sir, exactly 1 crore? Not applicable. Less than 1 crore? Not applicable. 1 crore 1 rupee? Applicable. So what is the condition? The total paid up share capital plus free reserves of such private limited company in any case shall not be exceeding 1 crore. जैसे exceed हुआ, condition is dissatisfied, CARO is waiting for you. CARO is applicable. I hope everyone is clear. The paid up share capital plus free reserve of such private limited company shall not be more than 1 crore. 1 crore से ऊपर नहीं होना चाहिए. Sir, exactly 1 crore? Not applicable. Less than 1 crore? Not applicable. More than 1 crore? 1 crore 1 rupee? Applicable. CARO? Applicable. Everyone clear or not? Up now we have to do the analysis. So point number 1. When do we have to see this particular provision? When do we have to see this particular provision? हमें ये provision कब test करनी है? We have to see this particular provision on the which date? On the balance sheet date. On the which date? On the balance sheet date. So what is the recent balance sheet date has gone? 31/3/2020. On 31/3/2020, if my total paid up share capital plus free reserves and I am a private limited company, it is more than 1 crore, CARO is applicable to me from 2021 financial year onwards. So what is my previous balance sheet date? The previous balance sheet date was the 1920 balance sheet date. What was that? 31/3/2020, and total paid up share capital plus free reserves are exceeding 1 crore rupees, CARO is applicable. If it is less than 1 crore rupees, CARO is not applicable. Everyone clear or not? Everyone clear? Yes sir, we are clear. Now we have to understand what do you mean by total paid up share capital. Sir, what do you mean by total paid up share capital? ध्यान से understand करना, प्यार से understand करना. Total paid up share capital includes equity share capital. It includes equity share capital plus it includes preference share capital. It includes equity share capital plus preference share capitals. Calls unpaid should be deducted from the paid up share capital. Agar calls in arrears is coming in the question, you have to deduct it. You have to reduce it. So tell me one thing. What is paid up share capital? Equity share capital plus preference share capital minus calls in arrears. Repeat after me. equity share capital plus preference share capital minus calls in arrears. So what is the third thing? Amount already paid up on forfeited shares should be added. Amount already paid up on forfeited shares should be added. What do you mean by this point? Amount already paid up on forfeited shares should be added. हमने shares forfeit कर लिए, amount already paid up था, that should be added. That will become the part of your capital. So point number 1, equity share capital plus preference share capital minus calls in arrears, calls yet not paid, and add amount forfeited on forfeited shares. ये सब ऐड कर दिया, ठीक है. टू इक्विटी प्लस प्रेफरेंस माइनस calls in arrears, add what? Add amount received on forfeited shares. And ignore, what you have to ignore, share application money received should not be considered. Share application money received but not refunded should not be considered. Sir, इसका मतलब क्या होता है? Share application money received by the company. Which company? Private limited company. But not yet refunded. It is still lying in your balance sheet. Is it your money? Sir, why it will be refunded? Because you have not done the allotment. When you do not do the allotment of shares, do you have to refund the money or not? So it is a refundable amount. It is not a company's capital. It is a refundable amount. It is just lying as a liability in your balance sheet. That's why it is lying. So we are going to ignore it. So one thing has to be added, one thing has to be reduced, and one thing has to be ignored from paid up share capital. So when we'll do all these 4 adjustments, we'll get the paid up share capital. तो सर ध्यान से paid up share capital का मतलब क्या है? Equity share capital plus preference share capital minus calls in arrears plus forfeited amount received on forfeited shares. Reject or ignore what? What do we have to ignore? Share application money received but not yet refunded. That we have to ignore. समझ में आया? तो फॉर्मूला तुम्हारे सामने है. क्या फॉर्मूला है? इक्विटी शेयर कैपिटल प्लस प्रेफरेंस शेयर कैपिटल माइनस कॉल्स इन एरियर्स प्लस अमाउंट ऑन फॉरफिटेड शेयर्स. एवरीवन क्लियर? सर सुपर क्लियर. बट व्हाट वी हैव नॉट रिटन, सर आपने इग्नोर, तो वो इग्नोर है ना, दैट इज ऑलरेडी इग्नोर्ड ना, देयर इज नो पॉइंट ऑफ राइटिंग इट हियर. सो इग्नोर द एप्लीकेशन मनी रिसीव्ड शुड नॉट बी कंसिडर्ड. Are you getting the point or not? Application money received should not be considered. I hope everyone is clear. जल्दी जल्दी बता दो क्या था? Equity share capital plus preference share capital minus calls in arrears plus amount received on forfeited shares. I hope everyone is clear. Yes sir, we are clear. Now next thing, what does the free reserves means? अभी तो total paid up share capital is over. Now we are going to free reserves means. Free reserves का मतलब क्या है sir? Very simple line given in the act. All types of reserves as per Schedule 3 of the Companies Act 2013 must be considered. This is a point written in our CARO explanation. All types of reserves as per the Schedule 3 of the Companies Act 2013 must be considered. So what type of reserves? Revenue reserves as well as capital reserves. चाहे वो revenue reserves है or either it is revenue reserves or capital reserves, all the reserves must be considered for the purpose of CARO 2016 for the private limited company. All the reserves. Sir, CRR, yes. DRR, yes. Securities premium account, yes. General reserve, yes. Free reserves, yes. Investment allowance reserve, yes. Any type of reserve has to be added. Every reserve has to be considered. It is written every reserve has to be considered. Revenue reserves and capital reserves. Let it be revenue reserves or let it be the nature of the reserves are capital reserve. Every reserve has to be considered. So example, capital reserve, CRR, securities premium, DRR, revaluation reserve, general reserve, credit balance of PRR, PNL, and foreign currency translation reserve, that is as per AS 11, right or not? But if the debit balance of P&L account is given, what do you mean by debit balance? Credit balance of P&L account means net profit. Debit balance of P&L account means what? Profits or losses? Then it is losses. Then deduct from the reserves. देखो बहुत सिंपल सी बात है. Free reserves added, general reserves added, CRR added, credit balance of P&L added. But if instead of credit balance of P&L, there is a debit balance of P&L. What is debit balance of P&L? It is a losses. So all these reserves minus this loss. All these reserves minus this small loss. That will be called your free reserve. In case debit balance of P&L account is being given, then only it should be done. Otherwise, all the reserves blindly, you have to keep on adding. So, securities premium account, yes. DRR, yes. CRR, yes. Every type of reserve you have to add. आई होप एवरीवन इज क्लियर. यस सर, एवरीवन इज क्लियर. समझ में आ गया सर? यस सर, आ गया. तो बताओ टोटल पेड अप. फर्स्ट कंडीशन क्या थी? दैट सच प्राइवेट लिमिटेड कंपनी शुड नाइदर बी अ होल्डिंग नॉर अ सब्सिडरी ऑफ अ पब्लिक कंपनी. सर एसोसिएट रिलेशनशिप चलेगा, दौड़ेगा. सर जॉइंट वेंचर रिलेशनशिप दौड़ेगा, नो कारो एप्लीकेबिलिटी. बट इफ इट इज अ होल्डिंग सब्सिडरी रिलेशनशिप विद द पब्लिक कंपनी, देन कारो विल बिकम एप्लीकेबल. एवरीवन क्लियर? Yes sir, we are clear. Shall we move ahead? Yes. So second condition हमने क्या की? The total paid up share capital plus free reserves of such private limited company on the balance sheet date shall not exceed 1 crore. Sir, we don't know what is the meaning of total paid up share capital. I'm here now to tell. Total paid up share capital means what? Equity share capital plus preference share capital minus calls in arrears plus amount received on forfeited shares minus or ignore. Ignore. What to be ignored? Tell me, what to be ignored? Application money received but not yet refunded. That is to be ignored. उसको कुछ भी नहीं करना. दिया हो, अगर added है, if it is already added, then you have to reduce. If it is already added, you have to reduce. If it is not added, ignore. Are you getting the point? Yes sir, we got the point. Free reserves की definition क्या है? All the reserves given under schedule 3 are to be considered, whether it is revenue reserves or whether it is capital reserves. Whether it is revenue reserve or it is a capital reserve. Are you getting the point or not? But one adjustment you have to do if there's a debit balance of P&L account. If there's a debit balance of P&L account, that adjustment you have to do. I hope everyone is crystal clear. Sorted, सब कुछ clear? Yes sir, सब कुछ clear. Let's move to the condition number 3. Sir, what is condition number 3? Total borrowings from the banks and financial institutions outstanding at any point of time during the financial year shall not exceed 1 crore. Shall not exceed how many crores? 1 crore. सर इतना बड़ा सेंटेंस बोल दिया, मैं ब्रेक करूंगा. Total borrowings from the banks and financial institutions at any point of time during the financial year. Tell me, total paid up share capital plus free reserves, where do we have to see it? Total paid up share capital plus free reserve, where do we have to see it? We have to see it on the balance sheet date. We have to see it on the balance sheet date. But when it comes to the total borrowings from the banks and financial institutions, they are to be seen at any point of time during the financial year. 2021 के फाइनेंशियल ईयर में कभी भी, सपोज इन द 1920 फाइनेंशियल ईयर, at any point of time your borrowings have crossed the level of 1 crore. Your borrowings have crossed the level of 1 crore. CARO will become on the spot applicable to such private limited company. Borrowings not to be seen on balance sheet date. Borrowings are to be seen on any point of time during the financial year. पूरे financial में check करते रहना है कि yes, whether the borrowings have crossed the 1 crore level or not. If it is still under the 1 crore, CARO is not applicable. But if it crossed the level of 1 crore, CARO is applicable. Exactly 1 crore, CARO is not applicable. 1 crore 1 rupees, CARO is applicable. समझ में आ रहा है? 1 crore 1 rupees, CARO is applicable. Exactly 1 crore, CARO is not applicable. Less than 1 crore, CARO is not applicable. But when to be seen? At any point of time during the financial year. इसका example भी है. Say for example, June 19 में I took 60 lakhs of loan. So what is my outstanding borrowing? 60 lakhs. August 19, I took another 20 lakhs of borrowings. What is outstanding? 80 lakhs. Total 60 plus 20, 80 lakhs. September 19, I refunded 40 lakh rupees. I repaid 40 lakh rupees. What is the outstanding balance now? 40 lakhs. Now, Jan 20, I took 70 lakhs additional loan. So, 40 plus 70, 110 lakhs. It means more than what? 1 crore. CARO became applicable. CARO became applicable. But next year, sir, I again repaid 60 lakhs in February. Now the outstanding balance is 50 lakhs. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Throughout the financial year, at any point of time, if it is breached the level of 1 crore, then the CARO is automatically applicable. Everyone clear? Everyone clear? Yes, sir. So remember one thing, we don't have to see it on the balance sheet date. Balance sheet date doesn't matter. You can see that balance sheet date doesn't matter. What matters? At any point of time, was it more than 100 lakhs or not? Was it more than 1 crore at any point of time? At which time? Tell me. During the month of January. It crossed the level of 1 crore rupees. Therefore, CARO is applicable. Crystal clear? So total outstanding borrowings from the banks and financial institution either individually or aggregately at any point of time during the financial year shall not exceed 1 crore rupees. At any point of time it is a breach the level of 1 crore rupees, CARO will become automatically applicable. I hope everyone is crystal clear. सबको क्लियर हुआ? यस सर, सबको क्लियर हो गया. अब नाउ क्वेश्चन इज सर, व्हाट डू यू मीन बाय बोरोइंग्स? Like what we have done, what do you mean by total paid up share capital? We have to understand what do you mean by borrowings. Sir, what do you mean by borrowings? अब ध्यान से सुनना. Borrowing means all fund-based loans shall be included. Borrowings means all the fund-based loans shall be included. So what do you mean by fund-based loans? Term loans, demand loans, export credits, cash credit, working capital loans, overdraft limits. So term loans, demand loans, export credits, cash credit, working capital loans, OD, overdraft. Any kind of this loan you see in the balance sheet, you have to add it under the concept of borrowings. But only one thing you have to reject. What is the one thing you have to remember? If it is a bank guarantee given, that is not a fund-based loan, that is a non-fund-based loan, therefore it has to be rejected. Bank guarantee को ignore करना है, तो this you have to ignore and this you have to consider. Everyone clear? So what to be considered? Term loans, demand loans, export credits, cash credit, working capital loans, overdraft limit to be considered. What to be ignored? To be ignored is bank guarantee. Next point, sir, all accrued interest and due. Interest is accrued as well as due includes. You have to include it. But interest accrued but not due, ignore. So remember one thing, CC, term loan, demand loan, export credit, working capital loan, OD includes. What to be ignored? Bank guarantee to be ignored. What to be ignored? Bank guarantee to be ignored. Sir, interest accrued and due. Interest is accrued as well as due to be included. But interest accrued but not due to be ignored. Everyone clear or not? Everyone clear? Super clear? समझ में आ गया? तो all the fund-based loans we have to add and non-fund-based loan like bank guarantee. Remember कर लो सर, bank guarantee एग्जाम में आया तो तुम्हें इग्नोर करना है. You don't have to add it. Interest accrued and due is written in the question. You have to include it. But interest accrued but not due in the question, you have to exclude it. अब मैं तुमसे पूछूंगा ध्यान से, total paid up share capital का फॉर्मूला बताओ. Equity share capital plus preference share capital minus calls in arrears plus amount forfeited. Free reserves का फॉर्मूला बताओ. All the reserves. Only one thing we have to adjust when there is a debit balance of P&L. Borrowings का फॉर्मूला बताओ. All the fund-based loans to be added, bank guarantee is to be ignored. And if the interest is accrued as well as due, that is to be added. But if the interest is accrued but not due, that is to be ignored. When do we have to see total paid up share capital plus free reserve? Condition number 2. We have to see it on the balance sheet date. When do we have to see the outstanding borrowing condition? At any point of time during the financial year. Always remember, एक बार भी one time if it has crossed 100 lakhs or 1 crore rupees, the CARO will become applicable. I hope everyone is crystal clear. Everyone is 120% clear. Yes sir, we are clear. So shall we move to the fourth condition? So condition number 1 was what? Neither a holding or a subsidiary of a public company. Condition number 2, the total paid up share capital plus free reserve in any case shall not be exceeding 1 crore rupees. Condition number 3, outstanding borrowings at any point of time during the financial year in aggregate or in individual from the banks and financial institutions shall not be exceeding 1 crore rupees. Then what is the fourth one? The turnover, the total revenue including the turnover, the total revenue, total turnover including the turnover from the discontinued operations shall not be exceeding 10 crore rupees. Shall not be exceeding 10 crore rupees. So 1 crore, 1 crore, 10 crore. 1 crore, 1 crore, 10 crore. So what is the turnover condition? Total turnover. Total turnover including which turnover? Turnover from the discontinued operations. So let me give you an example. I had two businesses. One is cement manufacturing, one was textile manufacturing. Cement manufacturing went throughout the year. पूरा साल मैंने वो business किया. So that turnover from the cement I have to add. But I have also done the textile manufacturing which I shut down in the month of January. Now tell me, for how many months I have done that manufacturing business of textile for 10 months. So 10 months, in those 10 months, do I have any kind of turnover? Yes, sir, we have a turnover. That turnover also you have to add. So total continued turnover of one operation, including the turnover of discontinued activity, discontinued business activity or discontinued turnover also you have to include. जितना भी revenue हुआ, चाहे वो continued operations में से हो रहा है या discontinued operations से हो रहा है, put together shall not exceed 10 crore rupees. Shall not exceed 10 crore rupees. Everyone clear or not? It shall not exceed 10 crore rupees. सबको समझ में आया सर? Everyone clear? Everyone clear with that? Okay. Now see. When do we have to see the total paid up share capital plus free reserves? At any point of time or at the balance sheet date? At the balance sheet date. When we have to see that outstanding borrowings from banks and financial institution at the any point of time during the financial year. Turnover also has to be seen at any point of time during the financial year. पूरे फाइनेंशियल ईयर में अगर टर्नओवर 10 करोड़ से ऊपर गया, 10 करोड़ 1 रुपी एप्लीकेबल, 10 करोड़ नॉट एप्लीकेबल, लेस देन 10 करोड़ नॉट एप्लीकेबल, लेस देन 10 करोड़ नॉट एप्लीकेबल, 10 करोड़ एप्लीकेबल, लेस देन 10 करोड़ नॉट एप्लीकेबल, 10 करोड़ एप्लीकेबल, मोर देन 10 करोड़, लेस देन 10 करोड़ नॉट एप्लीकेबल, 10 करोड़ नॉट एप्लीकेबल, 10 करोड़ 1 रुपी एप्लीकेबल. Outstanding borrowings less than 1 crore not applicable, exactly 1 crore not applicable, more than 1 crore applicable. Total paid up share capital plus free reserves less than 1 crore not applicable, 1 crore not applicable, more than 1 rupee, more than 1 crore applicable. Turnover less than 10 crores not applicable, 10 crores not applicable, more than 10 crores applicable. Which turnover? Turnover includes the turnover from the continued operation as well as from discontinued operations as well. Everyone clear or not? When do we have to see it? Same like outstanding borrowings, we have to see it at any point of time during the financial year. Are you getting the point? Now, we have to have a lot of discussion on turnover. First of all, turnover means normal turnover plus discontinued turnovers both to be added. That we all know, I already told you. So, continued operations turnover plus discontinued operation turnover both are required to be added. Next point. Any kind of taxes like custom or GST shall not be considered as turnover. पहले तो इसका meaning बताओ. Sir, why GST and custom shall not be? Why any kind of duties and taxes shall not be considered as a turnover? इसका बहुत simple सा meaning है. GST and custom is not your revenue. You have to pay it to the government. ये आपका income नहीं है, ये आपका revenue नहीं है. This is you are collecting from the customer to pay it to the government. That is a revenue of the government, not yours. Are you getting the point? That is not your revenue, that is government's revenue. But it is included in your turnover. If it is included in my turnover, I have to reduce it. If it is separately given, I have to ignore it. In the turnover figure, if it is included, it is included. What is included? GST is included in the turnover. I have to reduce it. If it is included, I have to reduce it. If it is separately given, I have to ignore it. Included, I have to reduce it. If it is separately given, I have to ignore it. That is what is written because that is not your revenue. Now see, custom and GST shall not be considered as turnover if the tax is already added to the figure. To the which figure? Turnover figure. Reduce or deduct. And if the taxes are separately given, the biggest word, ignore. If it is included, reduce. If it is separately given, ignore. Everyone clear? Yes, sir. Super clear. Point number 1. Which two turnovers? Continued operation plus discontinued operation. Point number 2. Which taxes? Any kind of taxes. If it is included, reduce it. If it is not included, then do what? Ignore it. Everyone clear? Yes, sir. Sales return must be deducted. अगर सेल्स रिटर्न हुआ, अब तो मुझे बताओ सेल्स रिटर्न मतलब सेल्स वापस आ गए, इज इट योर रेवेन्यू? नो, यू हैव टू पे बैक. That is not your revenue. So that has to be what? Deducted. Sales return are required to be deducted. Trade discount is also required to be deducted. Trade discount is also required to be deducted. Why trade discount? Because trade discount is a discount which we give it to the everyone. Remember, cash discount, they will confuse you with by giving cash discount, that should not be added. Sir, why cash discount should not be added? Because cash discount is something which we offer only to the limited persons for getting the early payments. Not available to everyone. Say for example, I went to Central Mall. In the Central Mall, in the Adidas showroom, it was written 70% flat sale. Is it for me only or everyone? Everyone. That is called trade discount. Now, I am the debtor of that Adidas showroom. I am the debtor of that Adidas showroom. Now, Adidas owner is giving me 5% extra discount to make the payment to him. Instead of 30 days, if I'll make the payment in 10 days. So instead of making the payment in 30 days, if I am ready to make the payment in 10 days, that owner of that Adidas showroom is ready to give me 5% extra discount. Now that 5% extra discount is a trade discount or cash discount? Cash discount. Cash discount you have to ignore. Only two things you have to reduce. Sales return you have to reduce and trade discount you have to reduce. I hope everyone is clear. So what are the two things that have to be reduced? Sales discount, sales return and trade discount has to be deducted. Everyone clear or not? Yes sir, everyone is clear. Other than above, anything given in the question shall be what? Ignored. So these are the 4 detailed conditions to be satisfied by the private limited company so that CARO 2016 will not be applicable on that private limited company. Tell me one by one. Point number 1, it should neither be a holding or subsidiary of a public company. Point number 2, its total paid up share capital plus free reserves on the balance sheet date shall not be exceeding 1 crore rupees. Total paid up share capital is what we all know. Free reserve is what we all know. Condition number 3, and its total outstanding borrowings from the banks and financial institutions at any point of time during the financial year shall not be exceeding 1 crore. I already told you what borrowings to be considered, what not to be considered. Point number 4, its total revenue including turnover from the discontinued operations and any point of time during the financial year shall not be exceeding 10 crore rupees. What to be included in the turnover? That also I told you. Taxes are given separately, ignore. If they are given including in the turnover, then reduce it. Sales return you have to reduce and trade discount you have to reduce. Other than that, anything in the turnover sales relating thing you have to ignore. I hope everything was made crystal clear to you. So these are the 4 conditions required to be satisfied by the private limited company so that CARO will not be applicable on such private limited company. Now, I hope now you understood why I have kept 5 or 8 star marks on this particular portion. सबको समझ में आया? यस सर, समझ में आया. तो अभी क्या करेंगे, छोटा सा ब्रेक लेंगे हम लोग, क्योंकि the same topic what we have learned so far we have to absorb it also. CARO 2020 भी थोड़ा सा पढ़ा, CARO 2016 also we have understood. We understood the applicability, non-applicability, private limited company, 4 conditions, what is state. So all these things we have to absorb. Remember one thing, take a break. Stop the video there itself, take a break. मैं भी break ले रहा हूँ. So I'm also going to take the break. So I'll see you about the all 16 areas to be reported in a detailed discussion. Right on in the detailed discussion after this break. I hope you all understood the topic which I have sent you so far. So thanks for lending your patient ears for this moment of time, for this session of CARO, beautiful session of CARO 2016. And after 10 minutes of break, we'll again meet it. Okay, we will again meet and we'll discuss about the next provisions relating to the CARO. So thank you so much for lending your patient ears again. I'll borrow it again after the 10 minutes of break. Thank you so much.